want me to get right into the drama? Let's get right into the drama. Detroit, Rock City! Are you from Detroit? Okay, so today I'm going to do a little short update on Def Noodles. We're just going to kind of read his Twitter and see what things are going on, okay? First of all, I need to make a correction to a video that I did several days ago talking about Def Noodles. I'm basically, at this point, a Def Noodles commentary channel. But I made this video the other day, and I was kind of just doing a little update about Def Noodles and talking about all the stuff that was going on with him. And I was talking about the fact that he was hashtagging justice for Corey. Now, I didn't really know a whole lot about this movement, this political movement, Justice for Corey. I had no idea what that was about. Are you from Detroit? But I do have two plants, which means I have a comedy club. But anyway, he was just retweeting it over and over and over again, right? And I had seen some people say that they wanted Corey to like take over the comedy show, to take over the roast and whatever. So that is what I thought that it was about, okay? So I just want to make that very, very clear before I get into this because I received a comment, hold on a second, on my video. Very nicely said. This was from Roby. And Roby said, Peter, you are wrong about the Justice for Corey bit. He did it as a joke because Corey said that Slavo grabbed his chest and he felt he was essayed, okay? So that was why he was retweeting over and over and over this hashtag, okay? About Salvo, Slavo, or whatever, okay? So I just wanted to correct that because I was not aware of that. So now we know what all of that joke was about. Detroit! Rock City! Are you from Detroit? So anyway, so many people have asked me to make merch that says, are you from Detroit? I'm thinking about it. I might. So anyway, I'm not actually. I'm originally from Chicago. I was born at Passavant Hospital in Chicago, just in case you didn't know. So anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, so then I went into his Twitter, and I saw this kind of all unfold. This is like several days ago. This was like 3 days ago. But, hold on just a second. Let me get into the original tweet. Okay, so this is from Salvo. Now, if you guys don't know who Salvo is the, who I just called Slavo, because that's who the person said in the tweet. Comment, whatever. It doesn't matter. Are you from Detroit? Okay. So anyway, Salvo is the guy that pulled up to shut up or whatever. It pulled up and show up at the comedy roast. I can't keep track of this anymore. It's just such buffoonery, right? So he is the guy, the YouTuber, that showed up, okay, because Dennis has continued to say on social media over and over and over again, pull up and show up, okay? So Salvo did. He pulled up and he showed up. And he got shoved by Def Noodles. I have made many videos about this now, talking about it ad nauseum, talking about it, okay? I mean, I don't even know what to say about it anymore, right? So he apparently was in the hospital. He showed himself in a neck brace. He showed himself bruised. So apparently he got really hurt from being shoved. So whatever. So there's that. So then, 3 days ago, or 4 days ago, Salvo puts out on his Twitter, he puts up, tomorrow on Breakland, which I guess is his like little show or whatever. Hold on, I need my reading glasses because I'm so old. Interviews with Lauren Francesca, ex-girlfriend of Def Noodles, and Tiana Renee, ex-employee of Def Noodles. Get ready. And then he put that on here, okay? So this is what's kind of going on. A lot of people are like looking up exes of Dennis's. I think he has an ex-wife. They're looking up his ex-girlfriends. And also this ex-employee of his that supposedly was like, I think she went to, just correct me in the comment section below. Y'all already know I'm going to come and correct myself. Now, I know Def Noodles has been putting out incorrect information for years, okay? But I don't have any problem getting in a video and owning my mistakes at all. So if I make a mistake in a video, just correct me, and in the next video, I will correct myself, right? So thank you, Roby, for correcting me, because, hey, listen, I'm open to being educated and remain teachable. But anyway, apparently this ex-employee of his that went to Burning Man with him or something, and I don't know, there was like a lot of like different stuff going on, people making videos talking about how he's suing her and she's suing him, and there's just, anyway, they don't like each other anymore, and apparently she doesn't work for him. Apparently she is not the woman in the background that just sits at the computer like this. I don't know what that person does, okay? I don't know if on her resume application that she filled out to work for Deaf Noodles, his comedy club, and his 15 different businesses, I don't know if that was called shade, or a roast. I don't know if it said on the application, you know, must be able to hold your hands up to make it look like you're working on a computer when there's actually no work to do for hours on end while people take pictures. I don't know if that was one of the qualifications, but she does a really good job. Because every picture that I see where Deaf Noodles is standing with like the door open and you can see back into the offices, she's always just standing there like she's doing like data entry. Like, what data entry are you doing, okay? Are you selling more the fake tickets to some comedy club in Las Vegas that's never actually gonna happen? Or, I don't know, are you filling out like safety code paperwork online for your club? I'm like so baffled by what this team of, he always says he has teams, my security team, okay? Well, a team is more than like 1 or 2 people. Like when I think of a security team, I think of like 8, like, you know, heavily guarded, like security guards. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, did you ever see the movie The Bodyguard? Okay, I mean, she had Kevin Costner, all right? God love Whitney Houston. I mean, she had Kevin Costner, but he was the love interest, and even he could shoot around trees and all kinds of stuff. But then he also had other people that were with him, right? So does Dennis have, like, Kevin Costner working for him? Like, is that what it is, Dances with Wolves? Like, I'm so confused, okay? Who is his team of security? Or is it just friends that come and hang out with him or whatever? Because, in all honesty, like, Def doesn't seem to have a lot of friends. Did I just call him Deaf? Dennis, whatever. He doesn't seem to have a lot of friends other than just these comedians that are taking advantage of the fact that he is like shouting out what great comedians they are when they're literally like the worst comedian in the entire world, okay? Like, imagine this, okay? Imagine if you wanted a cooking show, okay? And, like, I so relate to this because I love to cook. No, I don't. But imagine that you wanted a cooking show and on YouTube, right? And you wanted a lot of subscribers, or you wanted to be booked on other cooking shows. And you, everything that you cooked in the kitchen, I don't know where else you would cook it, okay? On your hot burner, I guess, like, if you're camping. But, like, everything that you cooked in the kitchen, on the stove, on the oven, you burnt, okay? It stank. It was horrible, right? But you had this person over there that was willing to put you on their show and say that you were one of the best chefs in LA. Can you even imagine? Okay, and this person also has 500,000 plus subscribers that are following them and listening to them, okay? Like, Dennis wants to act like he doesn't have any clout. The hell he doesn't, okay? The minute that he says that he has some of the best comedians, we all know now that he doesn't, right? So, third roast, nobody's expecting any jokes at that one, okay? I mean, I think it's going to be a sad funeral as far as I'm concerned. I mean, we're not expecting any jokes. The jokes have died, okay? The jokes have died. Bring your funeral veils. I don't know. It's going to be a real sad day on that roast over there, and God knows it'll probably be his finale exit off of YouTube, because everything that he does continues to get him banned from Twitch and YouTube and everywhere else, and it just doesn't seem like he really cares, you know? And the thing is that, like, every time I do a video about this, I always get a couple comments. I'm getting less and less as time goes by, which tells you that people's emotional investment in Dennis is growing less and less. Like, at first, when I commented on it and did a video, people would say, I'm really worried about Dennis. Like, something seems to really be going on with him, right? But the less that, like, the more time that goes by and the more that he does and the more he engages, like, in the shenanigans, which used to be the biggest swingers club in the Midwest. I know, because I know the owner. I used to play slots with her at the casino. But anyway, I should have included that in here maybe. I don't know. But anyway, she was a real nice gal. So anyway, she was a real nice gal. Older, but nice. So anyway, but why did I say that? I don't know. So anyway, the more that he engages in all these shenanigans and puts stuff out and does this stuff like have like a topless, you know, woman on his YouTube show that he knows that's going to get him in trouble. Okay, don't tell me that he is like so spiraled out of control that he doesn't know that this is going to get him in trouble, right? Like, I almost kind of think at this point he's trying to get banned off of YouTube. I mean, he doesn't seem to really care that he got banned off of Twitch, and I think he really wouldn't care if he got banned off of Twitter anymore. Like, it's just like, what is going on? Like, I am so, did you just win the lottery? Like, is he the billionaire winner of the Powerball, and like, this is the going out joke, you know? Like, I always said, if I won some huge lottery, like 500 million, y'all listen, you don't want that video, okay? You don't want the video where I go out and I tell you all everything that I know about every influencer behind the scenes. Trust me, okay? You want to talk about the veil of Oz being lifted and me really ruining for you what some of these people are like? You do not want that video, okay? So I'm kind of like, what's going on? Did he just come into a lot of money, or does he really not care? Because, or is it just that he's just like, he really believes that he's just, I mean, I just do not believe that the end game is that he is really trying to promote this club. Because if he really cared about this club, okay, if he really cared about these roast battles and he wanted to build this club into something respectable and something that people, real comedians, would want to come to and roast each other and do stand-up. I mean, he has talked so much about building this club. Let's think about this for a second. And this is a serious moment. If he really cared about this club, okay, that he is building and working on, and he cared about the reputation of this club and the reputation of the people that were going to come there and they were going to do stand-up and whatever, right? Then the marketing surrounding that, which is his YouTube videos, his live streams, his Twitter, his Twitch, all of it, he wouldn't just let it be going crazy to the point where it could all be taken away from him and he would have no marketing for this club whatsoever. Not to mention, most people aren't really willing to align themselves with any kind of business that is hugely problematic. So the fact that he is, I think now, you know, and I've kind of like, I don't know, like, I've kind of been trying to figure out, like, what is his end game. I don't think, like I said in my last video, that he really does have any kind of end game planned out, right? Okay, so let's go on. So Salvo puts out this tweet that he has interviews with Def Noodles' girlfriend. I would have almost sworn that this was like his ex-wife. I thought somebody said, but maybe I'm wrong. This Lauren Francesca. But anyway, and then that he also has an interview with the ex-employee of Def Noodles. Okay, so Lauren comes out and she says in a tweet, "I have nothing bad to say about Dennis at all. I never agreed to be interviewed by anyone." So she's saying Salvo's a liar. "I would never discuss any of my past relationships on social media. I have worked really hard to create a positive environment. This drama has nothing to do with me. Please leave me out of it." Which I have to say, I'm rather impressed with her statement on here. So anyway, so then Salvo, he responds to it and says, hold on a second. "Oh, by the way, this was bait for Dennis, and it worked. Def Noodles had a meltdown after seeing this tweet live on his pod. Makes me think, what is he hiding?" Okay? So she responds to it. This goes back and forth now. Hold on a second. She responds to this, and she says, no, wait, that was where she said, "I have nothing bad to say about that." Okay. So then he says to her, "Hi, Lauren," on her response. "See below, Dennis' reaction when he found out I could be talking to you says a lot. Please be safe." Okay? Because Dennis kind of like freaked out a little bit or whatever. And so, I don't know. You know, people put up this clip of, I think it was her, I'm almost positive it was her with Dennis, and, her phone goes off and like text messages off and whatever, and they put this clip up there, which I don't know, was supposed to be evidence of something. Have you guys seen this clip? So anyway, people are saying all of this stuff about Dennis now, and they're trying to get her involved and all this kind of stuff, and I'm kind of like, you know, leave the poor girl out of it. Like, seriously, like, she doesn't want to be part of this. I do have to say, like, I respect the fact of how she handled the whole situation. And I love, listen, I've said this in my, listen, Linda, listen. Are you from Detroit? So I've said this in videos of mine in the past, talking about Jeffree Star and Nathan and other people, right? Is that I really highly respect when people, especially people that are in the public eye, that they don't have this need to come out and tell on their exes, right? Like, listen. We're all human beings. I would say the majority of us. I won't say all, because every time I say all, I always get a comment and somebody's like, "Well, I never did that." But I would say the majority of us have the need or the desire to tell on somebody, right? "Oh, if you only knew what I knew. If you only knew what I had gone through. If you only knew what I could tell you about this person, you would look at them in a completely different way. You wouldn't think about them in the same way. You would, if you only knew," okay? So it's interesting to me that she handled this in such an honorable way. Number one, I think it's respectful, and it also says leave the girl alone, right? So anyway, But Salvo used her as bait, and he clarified that in there. So then this goes up, and then this is when all of the hashtag, the Twitter, or the Justice for Corey stuff happens. And then we go into the LAPD apparently doxing. He got doxed and all this kind of stuff, and they came out. And now what he's clarifying is he's saying that he had an appointment with the LAPD to go over all of the stuff from his club, like later in the day or something like that. He had some kind of appointment with the club. That wasn't it. It was that he got doxed, and the LAPD, well, first of all, you would think that the LAPD would be able to know your address. So I already covered this in my last video, but he says, I just got doxxed. LAPD stopped by my club and did a full search of the whole building. Well, wouldn't you think the LAPD could just type in Death Noodles or Dennis, whatever his last name is, and they could have your full address? I mean, it's the LAPD, all right? You know, I mean, I'm sure they have a white pages, okay? I'm sure they have a phone book or even Google search. It's not like they have to, like, be searching on social media for somebody to dox you. So you didn't use that word appropriately. Okay, yet again, switching up stories and changing stories out to not fit you, right? So I kind of talked about this in my last video, but he says, thanks to everyone who reported me. They stopped by my club and did a full search of the whole building, but found nothing. Okay, I already talked about that in my last video. Then he goes on here, and somebody said, also, he straight up and said in his video yesterday that he had a formal meeting. Okay, so he says, this doxing had nothing to do with the meeting that I have with the LAPD. My meeting with the LAPD is at LAPD, not in my building. They literally told me as soon as I opened the door that they were responding to numerous reports. Get a life, seriously. Okay, we already talked about that. So this person says, why make this look like cops just showed up when he already said it was scheduled in a video? I think he's trying to lean into this villain persona. Let's see what people have to say underneath here. Somebody said, in what world would the LAPD come to someone's office for a scheduled meeting? This is a stretch even for internet trolls. Okay, and it goes on. You know, what's really interesting to me about, and somebody said this on one of Dennis's, like, tweets recently. They said, I mean, he has, I don't want to get out of where I was, but hold on, I guess I will for just a second. He has 128.1 thousand followers on Twitter, and like, I mean, you guys, let's just look at these tweets, okay? 17 likes, 3 retweets, 19 comments. This one, they said I was down and out, but I just got 5 racks, which is where he's holding money. Got 180 likes and 159 comments. That one did a little bit better. This Friday show, 3rd edition. So, now this is what's happened, and this is what I talked about in my last video, okay, is that he postponed the roast, okay, and I was saying in my last video that I kind of thought that it was so that he could get his licenses in place and stuff like that, but if he's having this comedy show at his club, apparently that's not the case, and that's kind of what he came out and said, unless he just really doesn't care, right? So he said this Friday show, 3rd edition, Friday, September 9th, that's tonight, at 8 p.m., Hollywood, California, the greatest show in the history of comedy. Oh, there's the joke! I was waiting for the joke! I was waiting for the joke, and it came. Oh my God, Darlene and Becky, I love you. Did you not hear the jokes? Okay. DJ. DJ. Did you guys remember that episode? This is a little DJ. Okay. So anyway. All right, get your tickets here. So there he doxed himself again by putting his website up that you can get your tickets at. So he goes on here, and then anyway, so this is, and then it goes back to him talking about all this kind of stuff. So apparently you can go and you can get tickets to go to this live stand-up and all this kind of stuff. He's kind of been retweeting who some of the comedians are that are going to be over there and things like that. But I don't know, it'll be interesting. Are you going to watch? I don't know, my husband's out at a birthday party dinner tonight, so I might watch a little bit of it and see. You know, like I said, I'll give credit where credit is due. Like, if Dennis, like, hosts this thing in a respectable, responsible, manageable way that comes across to me as, like, a funny, ha-ha comedy host, and I've seen I mean, I'm 50 years old, you guys, come on. I've seen a lot of comedy shows, live and on TV in my life, right? If he can handle that and show that he has any kind of talent, and the comedians that come out there too have any kind of comedic talent whatsoever, even if they're green and they're a little amateur, you know, if they have a little bit of a set, if they have some kind of jokes going to them and some humor, I'll get on camera all day long and I'll give them mad respect for that and say, you know what? I thought that they did a nice job. I thought that, you know, like maybe it was a little green, it was a little amateurish, but hey, you know what? They're all growing, they're trying, whatever. Like, I have no problem giving credit where credit is due, okay? What I have a problem doing, okay, is crediting this crap show of violence and pushing people and name calling and body shaming and just all these derogatory terms under the guise of calling it humor when it is not humor. My battery died. But anyway, like I was saying, I would give mad respect to anybody out there that shows that they are really making an attempt and coming out and doing this in a respectable way. I would even give mad respect to Dennis if he would take any of the suggestions, any of the comments, any learning experience at all from what has been said to him. But if he comes out there and we see the same of like, comedy show, comedy show, comedy show, comedy show, tickets, 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 and that's all it is, the same all over again, and you're not willing to learn because your ego and your pride stand in the way, and your arrogance and your cockiness tell you that you're the greatest comedian on the face of the earth, that is not a joke, okay? Like, and I don't understand what, like, please somebody educate me on what the end game is here, right? Like, because it really does seem to me that he wants to be a comedian. Like, it really does seem to me like he wants to have a comedy club, you know? And I do want to say this really quick. Like, I got a lot of comments on my video the other day. I got a comment from a young woman, and she said that she and her friends opened a club in LA like 20 years ago, and that they had to have like 2 bathrooms in the club, and that if you're going to have people that were under 21, you had to serve food if you were going to serve alcohol. And she put a whole list of all these kinds of things because you can't serve alcohol in an establishment that has people under 21 or 18 or what, I guess 21, if there's not food served, like a restaurant. And then that's a whole other kind of coding kind of situation, and that you can't have wires exposed and you can't have all this kind of stuff. And she said that even then, like, to get the licenses you need takes like 6 to 8 months. And she's like, there is no possible way in the time that he has been building this comedy club that he was able to retain those licenses. She's like, there's just absolutely no way. And there were several other people that lived in the state of California that were citing things that they either knew or through friends of theirs that own clubs or saw. And they were very, very similar to that, you know? And that's why I asked, like, somebody was laughing the other day on a video. I don't know why, but I said, how many doors were there? And what I meant were, how many exits were there? Because usually in certain clubs, restaurants, and things like that, you have to have so many, like, entrances and exits. You have to have safety exits. You have to have things like that, right? You do have to provide a bathroom for your, you know, audience and public and things like that. I mean, you can't, if it's of a certain size and you're providing, you know, if you're serving alcohol and things like that. And so this whole thing seems, and maybe I'm wrong, it seems allegedly sketchy to me. So anyway, let me know what you think in the comedy. I say that every time. Let me know what you think in the comedy comment section below. I love you guys. And come back next time to my roast. I love you guys, and I'll see you then. Bye.